Today we're going to talk about builder kits. You can build your own router table very easily, and it keeps you from being limited to the standard sizes. Maybe you have an oddball size shop, or you have something in mind and you want to build your own table. Half the battle is having the parts. So I'm going to talk about building your own table in this video here. I'm going to try to keep it short, but I'm going to talk about cutting the insert hole because it's the most demanding part of the whole process. And if you get an idea of what's involved in cutting the opening, you can decide whether you want to go this route or not. This is not really a step-by-step direction, but just an overview so that you don't have to guess. Okay? So there's two approaches to doing this. Number one is cutting the insert hole, and you can see that this is the hole of an insert, and you're going to put the insert on top of your table and you're going to trace it out, and that's the outer line. Then you would measure in 3/8 of an inch, and that would be your inner line. The inside line, which is the 3/8, is what you cut out. You would cut it out with a jigsaw. Then it looks like this. There's that 3/8, and it gives you a ledge, and that ledge is what the insert sits in. And here's a nice little side view, and you can see kind of a blown up shot here on the bottom. The router insert looks like this, and it'll sit flush with the top. And there's a better view of it so that you can kind of see what you're getting yourself into. Like I said, this is the hardest part. There is another technique that works just as good, and it only involves cutting one hole or one cut. Again, you trace the insert onto the top and you cut it out very carefully. You have to have a good precision for this. However, the next thing that you can do is you take some pieces of scrap wood, and if you use 3/8 inch wide, you can just glue that in to the hole, and you would do it all four sides until you have 4 pieces like this. Then the router insert sits on that. Okay, moving along to the miter slot. Very straightforward. You can either use a dado blade in your table saw, or you can use a router, your router with a straight bit. If you use the router, you're going to need an edge guide, which can be one of those fancy schmancy clamps that you can buy, or you can just use a straight piece of wood. That's what I do. A groove, very straightforward. Again, here's a good example. The miter track is going to fit in the groove. It does not have to be perfectly flush. We use, on our tables, we allow for expansion, and so if you want to make it like a 1/100th deeper, it won't affect anything. That's a side view of the miter track. It fits right in the table. The next thing you're going to do is cut out T-tracks. T-tracks are basically the same thing. It's a groove or a dado. They don't have to be perfectly flush. Again, we use 1/100th of an inch. This is what the T-track looks like, kind of like a dado blade. These are the black knobs that hold them down. They sit on either side of the insert. These T-tracks hold the fence, and there's slots cut in the fence. So the split fence right along the tracks, and the knobs hold it down. It's pretty standard stuff. Fence cores come in aluminum or wood. Some people get freaked out about wood, but we use Russian birch. It's awesome stuff. The quality is amazing, and you won't find it anywhere else. This is the aluminum one, and you can see that the fence extensions ride along the aluminum core there. The black knobs hold them down, and there's a miter track in the back there actually a router track that slides along. Here's a picture of a Russian birch fence core, extremely stable. It's just less money. Safety port, obviously for your safety, so that fits into the front tracks on the extensions. And you know what? You can do all that yourself. You can design your own stuff, but really there's an easier way. You can buy our kits. We have all this in a kit. You probably have seen it on the site, and it's everything in there that you need. They come in 2 sizes, for a large table or for a benchtop table or a table saw extension. Table saw extensions when I refer to that, I'm talking about contractor-sized table saws. Here's a shot. As you can see, it's got all the parts in there that you need, and it's a great way to go because you got all the stuff in one box. The fence extensions, the extensions, they're not included in the kits, but you have to just it's just kind of one of those things you need to know. But we have them in the parts accessories section, and also sometimes you can find them in the scratch and dent section, which is a great little factoid there for you. You can do this. It's a great weekend project. The key, again, I'm going to say it, is just having everything on your bench ready to go. Then you don't have to stop and think and, well, where is this and how big is it? All your parts are together. So just go out and crank it out. You can do it. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the day.